What's going on, good people? It is another beautiful day to talk sports with you. Welcome to Academy Sports Show. Right here, you're watching live on YouTube or you're watching live on our Facebook channels. It is a Tuesday evening because, we had to get the holiday in like everybody else. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day, kicking it with the family or doing whatever you do to relax, had the day off, hopefully. And now we're back at it, back in the work week and back with sports going on. We want to make sure you guys know everything that's going on with us. So we want to shoot you to the Facebook and the Instagram and the YouTube. You see our handles right under. So make sure you share the stream as well. So if you're on the stream live coming in, make sure you share. And let's see what we got here. We got comments coming in. Did you know that you can comment live on this show? You can. So if you're live on this stream right now, you can go ahead and comment. The comments come up live and you'll be a part of the show, as well as you can be a part of the show if you got really something to say to something to get off your chest. All right. So I'm your host, Andre Douglas. Sitting next to me is your host, Joel Williams.
And what up, everybody? Man, I apologize for that little blurb of share screen that just took place. I mean, it just kind of shot up there on us. We're trying to work the background and the foreground and the front ground. We're trying to do it all at the same time. But what up, everybody, man? We appreciate y'all joining us tonight live, as always, on the Academy Sports Podcast. Y'all know how we do. Big week, a lot to talk about. It's a Tuesday. Happy belated Labor Day to you all. Because of Labor Day, because of the holiday, we usually spend a lot of time. We are family men and fathers and husbands as well. So we spent a lot of time with the fam yesterday, took the day off. So we're going to hit it real hard tonight. Man, we hope y'all can hang with us for the whole show tonight. We got a lot to talk about, man. I mean, a lot. We got a special guest with us tonight. Sports Dad Cephas is going to be in the building. He's waiting to come live and share some insight with us because we got to talk NBA. And Sports Dad Cephas, we're going to hook you to his YouTube page. He talks a lot about a lot of different topics, a lot of great information. But this man is a basketball guy, 100%. And I'm going to give you I'll give you a little intro on him. We got to do a nice little introduction before we bring him in so you can kind of get the lay of the land. But we want to hear from him tonight because there's a lot going on right now in the NBA. You got the LA-Houston series. You got the Clippers-Denver series. You got the Miami-Milwaukee series. The Giannis debate is out there. You guys have been with us the last couple of weeks. Last week we had a little bit of debate about Giannis and Luka. And then you got the Boston-Toronto series. So you got the conference semifinals going right now. It's a lot of great things going on. So we want to hear from Sports Dad Cephas tonight. We're going to bring him on the show, let him give his insight, get his opinion. And you never know, something might be brewing. We tend to get a lot of good discussion going on when it comes to Sports Dad Cephas. So you got to hang with us for that. Also, we got to play our favorite game that we've been playing every week. Who you got? And it's a holiday Thursday. Everybody know what holiday is Thursday. Dre, you know what holiday is Thursday. It's the beginning of the NFL season. Man, we cannot wait. NFL, who you got tonight? And then we're going to share our expectations, man, give our favorite team expectations. And, of course, as always, we are a sports show, so we got to do our predictions, talk about who we think is what's going to happen, and do our little crystal ball headline going into that first weekend of the NFL season. So we got that, and then you never know what might happen tonight on tonight's show because we live, baby. This is what we do. So that and much more tonight on the Sports Podcast.
Yeah, sir. Let's do it. And you see the sponsors here. If you want to be a sponsor on the Academy Sports Show, make sure you email us at academysportshow@gmail.com. That's okay. Wait.
Hold on. Give me a second. I was coming with it. Here we go.
Okay. At gmail.com.
I got you.
All right. And let us know if you want to partner, sponsor, anything like that. If you want to be part of the show, if you're a sports blogger, sports player, whatever. We here for the people. We here for the family. If you got something to say, let's say it. So that's academysportshow@gmail.com if you want to reach out. But we like to shout out our sponsor here at Academy Sports Show. One being Mr. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality Oh, I just had a brain fart. Bonds Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices, whether it's getting up to cold, waterproof, or daily home services. Call them man.
313-304-7786.
BondsPlumbing.com gives you a map of all the areas that they service as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call them man.
313-304-7786.
That man right there is a real MVP. And as always, man, I'm trying to grow my channel as well. Black Pillars Media Group is out here. Make sure you like it, comment, subscribe on it. I'm holding a raffle. If you want an extra $50 in your pocket, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make you a part of that raffle. Put up a new vlog today. I didn't even post it. I just wanted to see what they would do. Put up a new vlog today, so make sure you guys go check it out. And family, if you got something to say. That is me talking to myself. All right, so
did you see? It's a lot happening right now. Did you see?
I didn't see anything, but I heard myself.
Yeah. Yes. So, because our Facebook page was frozen for a second, I'm like, "What's going on over there?" And all of a sudden, it unfroze itself.
Okay. Yep. Okay, I see. But listen, that's what you do. You the technological, you working it out. There you go. Producer credit.
Right.
All right. So, like Joe said with the rundown, we got a lot of things to get to in a short amount of time. There's a game going on right now. There's a game coming on at 9. We got a lot to get into. How you feeling, Joe?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited, man, because this is our first guest on the new platform, and so we have an opportunity to bring someone in that this family right here. But this is also that guy. Everybody got that one friend that can stir the pot, that can fire you up real good. This is our guy right here. This guy right here. Been on him for a long time. And if you're not familiar with him, yeah, that didn't work. If you're not familiar with him, you should check him out. Go on his YouTube page, Sports Stats, see if it's here. You gotta look him up on YouTube. If you want all the information on recruiting, college football recruiting, AAU, college basketball recruiting. This guy has a lot of great coaches on, recruiters, interested in camps. He's had a lot of really good guests. Not only will you hear from some of the people that are in charge of a lot of these different things, but you'll also hear from the athletes themselves. There are a lot of really good athletes on the program. And he's the father of 2 athletes, or actually 4 athletes, but 2 of them that are very close to us in regards to Miles and Myron Harris, who got full rides to Wayne State. We follow them on Chippewa. If you're a friend of our show, you heard them. You've heard about them. We followed them at Chippewa Valley. You've heard about Trey at Chippewa Valley, and now they're down at Wayne State. So that's not going to change. We're going to continue to follow them. But if you're interested in his page, you definitely want to check him out. Go to Sports Dad, see if it's Harris on YouTube. This guy, the man, the legend, the basketball. I like calling him a basketball guru, but he's a sports guru. This guy definitely knows what he's talking about, and he loves to stir the pot. So we love to get his opinion whenever we bring him in. So we're gonna get ready to bring him to the show. You ready? Are you ready? Now, are you ready for this, Drake? Because
I took my vitamins today. I'm ready.
He always say we double team him and we do him dirty. So we're gonna try to be nice to the man on the show tonight. We're gonna just let things be what they are. I see him shaking his head in the background. We're gonna see. But let's bring him in. Let's welcome to the show. Let's add him in right here. What's up, brother? Sports
What up? Can you guys hear me good?
Yep, hear you real
good.
Excellent. What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate that. Wonderful intro. Thank you.
I know that was lengthy. That was a nice intro right there.
I know, hey, that made me feel really, really special. I appreciate that. Was that the feast before the kill?
No, not at all.
It's a real nice butter in that biscuit.
Right. But just so you know, guys, Joe, this is specifically for you. Is that my goal tonight is to get Andre from being on your side to being on my side today.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Don't respond. That wasn't it. You don't have to respond. You don't have to respond, Dre.
I have my own side.
I like it. I like it so far. I like it.
Man, well, welcome to the show, man. We appreciate you joining us, man. It's a lot going on right now, and we got a lot to talk about. The main two sports that are in play right now is NBA, of course, and then the NFL. And before we actually get to talking NFL, man, we wanted to bring you on because, like I said in the intro, you have a wealth of knowledge and experience, specifically when it comes to the game of basketball. Many of you all don't know, but this guy right here, if you can go if y'all go back in the archives, man, I don't know if it's Detroit News or Free Press, but that young man got work. You can find him. Osborne Greats, one of the Osborne Greats, man. So we wanted to bring you in, man. So tell us, man, what's going on with you, and then what's your thought, man? Playoffs, Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals. Just give us kind of where you are right now with that.
Well, I'm gonna be real honest with you, man. I'm a little disgusted at the playoffs right now. I really am. I was super excited when it first came out because we didn't have any bad because of COVID, but now that they're in the bubble, I was really, really excited about that. But I'm really, really frustrated. Just the style of basketball, in today's day and time is just terrible to me. It's super, super soft, and not everybody in the league is that way, but it appears that the majority is adapting to that philosophy, and I don't like it. It goes from you having to have the skill to play the actual game now to having to have an actual acting skill. That gets on my nerve. We're worried more so about drawing the foul than actually having the skill. Screw the foul. If you get fouled, great. But what about just having the skill and screw the acting? You know what I mean? So it's just too much of that going on right now. I'm just super disgusted by it. And, the fact that when players get injured, right, quote unquote injured, there's no fight in that regard neither. So for an example, and I'm here to stir the pot. You're absolutely right. I'm not here to make friends with any of you. So at the end of the day, so it is what it is. But I'm getting ready to say something right now, and the world is going to be mad at me. But Giannis, if you got to play with one leg, get out there and play. Period.
I agree. Actually, I'm there when it comes to the injury piece. I think if as an athlete, the bottom line is you just want to play. Like the competitive nature in you should say, I got to find my way to the basketball court tonight, or I got to step on this field for my team to play. Is that on Giannis, or does some of that fall on the whole, nowadays the medical staff doesn't want players to play because of long-term injury, and, remember the drama with KD, and the Golden State staff supposedly wanted this, and his doctor wanted that, and that might have been the reason why he left town, and all those different things that come up. Do you blame the player and the staff? Do you blame the player? Who does the onus fall on?
Well, is that a question for me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I believe that ultimately the player have the decision, but at the same time, I understand those decisions where it's not in the player's best interest to risk their health. But at the same time, like, it depends on what type of injury you're talking about here. KD's injury, his was like dire, you know what I mean? And he was already in bad situation. But I'm talking about something from a person that's tearing up their Achilles to a person that has an actual, a high ankle sprain. And then it takes me back to Isaiah Thomas, when they were playing against the Lakers. The dude could barely walk. But well, guess what? He continued to play because he understood as he played, the ankle, the pain will subside a little bit. That would allow him to still perform. And he still did his thing and was able to play at a high level. So I think that, it really boils down to the player. and also too what type of injury they have.
Got you.
Luka Doncic played with 2 bad ankles and sprained knee. So I'm all about players playing through pain, trying to get their team on another level. You know what I'm saying? Some guys got it, some guys don't. That's all that is. That's
Why don't you just ask the man the question, man? You throwing shade. Yeah.
So I take it he's a Luka fan.
Just ask the man the question.
Listen, okay, so I want to take it back. Take it back to last week. I caught flack, a little bit of flack. I had some people in the chat.
You have some people on your side now. It's 50.
For the most part, I caught flack in the Who You Got last week.
Oh,
stop. Franchise.
Stop. This man, no, you're not the victim here. You didn't catch flack. You had support. You had support.
I had a little bit of support, but it was mostly flack. On the Who You Got, starter franchise, Luka or Giannis.
Oh,
this is you can make your team however you want surrounding these guys, but it's 1A. Who you taking? Your draft pick is up, Luka or Giannis. Who you building a franchise around?
Me personally, I'm building a franchise, around Giannis. It's simply because Luka, both of these guys got some. Well, I would say because Luka's a little bit too soft for me. I'm sorry, he's a little bit too soft for me. Giannis he's kind of borderline right now, but but he has the ability to be that ferocious dog that we know that he can be, and actually he is that, which is why he's always in the MVP talk.
But he never did it in the playoffs. See,
I understand. I understand, but I'm talking about the ability versus like Luka. To me, Luka is a finesse player. You know what I mean? And now you have a lot of and to be quite honest, Dre, I'm just gonna say it outright. These the defense in the NBA is terrible. It's really terrible. It's terrible from the greatest to the least. And not everybody, there are some teams like the LA Clippers, they like to play defense. But I don't really see that level of defense being played, in the league, which makes it easier to score. Anytime where you allow a player to put up 30, 40 points on you, and you know what they're going to do. Damian Lillard, 60 points, and you know what they're going to do. Now, granted, you got those guys have those type of nights where, hey, they're in the zone and things like that. But if it's a consistent basis, James Harden putting up 30, 40 points, that's just flat out laziness and no defense to me, period. And you see it in the NBA. You see it. The help defense is not there. So when there's no defense, of course, it's easier to look like a superstar.
Okay.
And that's what Luka is doing right now.
And with that said, with the trend that the league is taking, this is the league. And you are on the minutes. It's soft. It is what it is. And let guys do what they do. Why not have a guy that can take full advantage of this current league right now that is the primary ball handler and can get a bucket whenever he wants to, walk in triple-double, impacts the team? He would be easier to build around in this NBA. Let's talk current. I know you guys are, on the other side of the hill there, but let's talk about now.
Well, to me, there's a reason why Luka is gone fishing and Giannis' team is still there right now.
He ain't got no team.
Listen, I don't get that. There's no such thing as that you don't have a team when you're in the freaking NBA. You're in the NBA for a reason. Everybody is good. Even the player that's not getting any run on the bench is good. So you're in the NBA. And if you in the NBA and if you are doing what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to win. I don't care. And that's just the attitude that I have, the old school mentality. Like today, everybody's friends. Like you said, they're in the bubble trying to, probably see where the next, mega team is going to come from. It's just not the same anymore. Right. And so at the end of the day, like the level of competition and things like that is just not the same anymore, man. So I would say, I'm rolling with Giannis. If I want to build a team around this guy, Luka, he's a great player. He's nice, offensively. Defensively, he concerns me a lot, but Giannis, I'm rolling with defense at any time. And I've seen Giannis, he has a nice defensive presence because really he can play the three. Well, I'm not going to say he can play the two because he really can't shoot the ball that well, but he can play the 3, 4, and the 5.
Deficiencies. I think in this NBA, I think Giannis should be a 5, to be honest with you. Like, because the guy, just watching this series, like in the third and fourth quarters when Miami's just taking runs on him, the guy looks lost in what to do in the offense. Like, if he can just go straight pick and roll, not be in a position of a 3-player, not be in a wing position to have to shoot the ball in the corner, like, I feel like you got to start playing to his strengths. He is a great defensive player. That's why he is Defensive Player of the Year. So you got to keep him in that bottom corner part of the defense. He's got to be a 4. But I feel like Luka's game is to a point where it's not. The upside is play defense. The upside on Giannis is, can you shoot the doggone ball consistently? And to play basketball, you got to shoot the doggone ball consistently to be an MVP. So to be watered down, to have the MVP, the 2-time MVP of the league, not be able to shoot the ball, says a lot for what the league is right now.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me jump in here because we like to appreciate the listeners and the watchers, and we always like to shout out folks in the comments. So we want to say what up to everybody. Appreciate you joining us tonight. We like to acknowledge a couple questions as we go here. We got a good discussion. If you're just joining us, we had to bring up a previous topic from last week. Would you start a team with Luka or Giannis? Been a lot of talk this week about Giannis. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Twisted his ankle, high ankle sprain, re-injured the high ankle sprain in the next game. And the Bucks ended up winning game 4 to avoid a sweep. They were up early in game 5 tonight. Then they were down 4. And it looks like it's going to be over for the Bucks tonight as it's 81-74 right now with Miami in the lead. So question on the table, who would you take, Luka or Giannis, to start a franchise? We got Sports Stat Stevens joining us tonight. He's given his take on this. He's going with Giannis. I'm going with Giannis. That means me and Sports Stat Steve gonna have a good night tonight. Not gonna have no issues.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
But y'all just called him soft, and then you gonna pick him.
But we're not debating on his softiness. We're debating on who you would start a team with. But Dr. Stu 32 wants to know, and we'll throw this question to see, how can you start a team with a guy who can't shoot?
Easily. Because really, see, that's where the mentality of basketball has changed, right? You know, we live in a community, a basketball community of jump shooting, right? Shooting the basketball, right? Shoot. But it's not about shooting. Really, back in the day, you wasn't considered a basketball player, until you actually could play offense and if you have some D. So you could actually be terrible at offense and have D and be considered cold. You know what I mean? So because the truth of the matter is that anybody, anybody can really score, which is why you have a lot of offensive juggernauts in the NBA right now. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can score, but everybody can't play D because defense is not fun. It's a grind situation. And so that's how you can actually start a team with a person that can't shoot, because that's what makes it a team. When a person can't shoot, you have someone else that can. You know what I'm saying? So, Giannis may not have a jump shot like Brook Lopez, but Brook Lopez, he can make it happen, right?
Right.
Hey, listen, I'm with you, Stu. This ain't about back in the day. We talking about right now. The Warriors were the most powerful dynasty. Everybody changed the way they play basketball because the Warriors shot that thing and they shot it well.
Well, why though?
They shot that thing and they shot it well.
But they not only shot the basketball, but what else did they do?
They played team defense.
Absolutely. So
if you can have a guy that can shoot that thing and play team defense, I'm asking who you starting a franchise with. You got a franchise player and your rest of your team can shoot and play defense. I'm taking the guy who has the dominant ball skills to take over a game, rather than a guy who, if I'm down 3, I'm not giving him the ball and he's my best player because he can't shoot the 3.
But everybody, I would agree with that, Dre. But that's the thing. Every team don't think like that. Every team don't think like the Warriors. When there's help defense, that's why you have a guy like LeBron in a situation, where one of his players get beat, and he don't step up. You know what I'm saying? And you consider to be one of the greatest in the situation, but we see you on national TV not stepping up on the help defense. That's terrible. So, but the Warriors has mastered that. Why? Because Draymond Green, because he understands his role and it rubs off on everybody, right? And they buy into it. Steph Curry is a terrible defender one-on-one, but guess what? He's a good enough defender to have help. And that help, and they understand the concept of help. It can happen. You know what I'm saying? But every team don't play like that. So it's a more so of a one-on-one situation. You get beat, you're pretty much done. And I'm gonna say this. Giannis is cold. Giannis is, I'm all for offense. Giannis is cold. He do some amazing things. You know what I'm saying? But to me, he just doesn't have, he just not that dog yet. And really, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut up. What? Huh?
To my Giannis or Luka?
I'm talking about Luka. And now, but what's happening with Giannis is that Giannis haven't really tapped into his full potential just yet, though. That's why everybody is so freaking amazed by him. You hear analysts on ESPN saying, like, this guy is doing this, and he hasn't even really peaked yet. You know what I'm saying? You can't really say that about Luka.
Dun, 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 dun.
I can say it about Luka. Listen, my guy, I'm a rock with my guy. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing, though. If I'm constructing my team and I got Luka as the point, I'll get a Draymond to play the 4, and I'll get a Draymond to play the 5. The same way that he can back up Steph Curry, he can back up Luka. You got Giannis as your best player. Now, I don't want to be the guy that bashes Giannis. I don't want to be that guy. 2-time MVP coming, defensive player of the year, #1 seed in the East 2 years in a row after LeBron and Kawhi left. #1 seed in the East. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that guy. But he has superstar deficiencies that I don't want to take on as the GM of my team. I'd rather have the consensus is, or the rumor is, he'll leave Milwaukee and go to Portland. I go to Portland because you got a guy in Dame Lillard that can tote the rock, shoot the ball, and take over in crunch time, and you can still get your 20-20 and y'all can be a dominant force in the West. You need a guy that has dominant ball handling skills, can get his own shot. If you're Giannis, if you're Luka, you don't need nobody else that can dominate the ball. You need a big that can do his job. And unfortunately, Porzingis wasn't that for him this year, or will never be.
Giannis I'm sorry, but Giannis is 7 feet tall. He's 7 feet tall.
He's this version of Shaq.
He has a deep. I wouldn't even put him in
2020 Shaq.
I wouldn't even put him in that same. I wouldn't even put him in that same class. I wouldn't even put him in that situation with Shaq because he's Giannis can hit free throws. And on top of that too, Giannis has a lot of elements to his game. He's 7 feet tall with guard skills. You know what I'm saying? So to me, like, he hasn't peaked yet, and mentally he has some maturing to do, because I was watching him the other night. When he first came out, he was being double teamed, triple teamed, and he was still trying to play through that, instead of trying to making the extra pass and things like that, because that's what he accustomed to, and that's what the coaching system has allowed. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like once he get with a good situation and a good coaching system, and continue to develop, he's going to be unstoppable, because pretty much he does what he wants.
He's with the coach of the year. He's with the 2-time coach of the year.
But you have a lot of Lukas in the league, but you don't have a lot of Giannis's, bro. I'm sorry. Giannis he's a rare breed, just like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is 7 feet tall with guard skills and can shoot the blood out of the basketball. There isn't a lot of Kevin Durants that are out right now. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a lot of Giannis's that are out right now. So Giannis just needs to be in the right situation. I can't put that love into Luka like that. Luka, to me, he's a good player. He's good. But you know what? He has some superstar deficiencies, just like you said. He don't have no D. And I don't understand from a person of your magnitude that could really understand, that could really sit on this particular set, on this platform, and say that you would take Luka over Giannis. That's ridiculous. A person with no defense, Dre? That's how the game is played. What's wrong with you, man?
So listen, I'm gonna transition this, because I'm gonna get control of it real quick, because I want to make sure we get the full use of Sports.C being here. So with that being said, there was a comment by D Dawkins saying, at the end of the day, Giannis about to go fishing. And so, of course, the takeaway from the great TNT show inside the NBA, and they're definitely probably be going fishing tonight. So let's get into the current conference semifinals that are happening right now, and let's get your take on those. Let's start with the easy one, the one that sounds like it's just about over. Not necessarily when it comes to Miami and Milwaukee. How do you think that series is going? But let's just really sum it up. Why has this series gone the way it has outside of, we know, the injury and the impact that had? He didn't get injured till game 3. So by the time he was injured, they was down 3-0. Why has this series, Sports.C, why do you think it's gone the way it has to where it looks like Miami's going to close it out tonight?
Because, Miami got a lot of junkyard dogs, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that too, they believe, you know what I'm saying? And they just have, to me, they have the full package, and they understand, everybody understands their role. You know what I mean? And you can tell that they had the Jimmy effect over there, and the way that Jimmy is talking, you know what I'm saying? They have bought into philosophy. And they're playing good team defense. And they have some nice shooters. And they're wonderfully coached. We can't forget about, Eric Spoelstra, who coached, the great team, LeBron and D Wade, and things like that. So he's in a situation where he can really take his tools, his coaching tools, and execute good basketball. And that's what you're really seeing with Miami. And so with Milwaukee, they just wasn't ready. They, not only did they have Miami, not only did they have a offensive plan, but they also had a defensive plan too. And I think that's where they won the game. And when they came out, Giannis, if you really watch him, that's why I say he has to mature mentally, because throughout the whole entire league, everybody knows that Giannis, you can't stop him one-on-one. We see this guy dunking on 3 people. We see him going to the lane anytime he wants to, and he's starting to develop a jump shot. It's not quite there just yet. But when they came out against Miami said, "No way, no how, sir. Somebody else is going to have to beat us, right?" And Giannis didn't buy into that mentality, and he didn't trust his teammates. Instead, he was forcing shots, and it threw him out of his rhythm. And so now Milwaukee is accustomed to Giannis being the leader, right? And they see that the leader is being dethroned, and Giannis, and you see how down he was there. He had no answer for that situation. So at the end of the day, that's what happened. They just took the win out of him, and they capitalized on it.
Yeah. Dre, do you think this is a knock on Giannis with them getting knocked out 2 years in a row? What are you doing?
It's a knock. Knocking that nigga right now. Knock. Yeah, it's a knock on him. It's your East, man. You've been waiting for your chance to own the East. This is your moment. No Kawhi, no LeBron, no threats. This is your moment. And you choked the first 2 games.
The East is tough, though. What are you talking about?
Well, the East is top heavy. The East is top heavy.
It is.
The East is top heavy. Once you get past 4, if the top 4 teams, it's all water and Kool-Aid. That's why everybody got swept, and now there's no substance down there. It's really top heavy. That's why this round was the good round when you get to the Eastern Conference. They was battling over in the West because 1 through 8, you got guys with marquee guys on each level. You got Dame, you got guys from 8 up on good teams. But yeah, definitely it's a knock on Giannis. If you watch these first couple games, they got blew out while he was in the game. And they got back in the game when he was on the bench because the ball kept coming to him and everybody kept sinking to the rim. Shoot that thing.
So here's my question to you though. Why is that Giannis's fault, and how come that can't be the coach's fault?
It's Giannis's fault because he don't shoot that thing. The same reason I don't like Ben Simmons, because he don't even try to shoot the ball. It's the reason why I don't like Giannis, because he don't put no. I'm not scared of you shooting the ball, and you're supposed to be.
You can't put him in. You can't put him in the same class as Ben Simmons. Because Giannis actually shoots the basketball,
and he just doesn't make it.
But the reason why he's shooting the basketball though is because he's had success at making shots. Let's not act like Giannis don't have a jump shot. He do have a jump shot. He actually shoots the basketball, and he's actually starting to develop a jump shot. It's just not at a superstar level just yet. But everything else about the guy is 100%.
But that's the efficiency though, right?
If the defense is let him shoot, that means you can't shoot the ball.
But you can't put him in the same class as Ben Simmons.
If we playing pickup and I just let you shoot that thing, I'm stupid because you're gonna make it every time or more times out of not. I'm gonna put my hand up because I feel like you're straining my defense now because I have to guard you. If I don't have to guard you and everybody can just sink in, because we know you're a paint player, and the guy in the corners can sit on the guys on the corners. It is what it is.
You're not right, Dre. You're not right, Dre. You're not right. Dre, listen, you both
again.
They're losing. How am I not right?
Once again, and I hope the audience is watching this, and I hope the audience is listening to this, because once again, you have brought me on this show to make a mockery of me. Okay, and that's what you just actually you brought me on the show to make a mockery of me.
I didn't tell you to pick Giannis.
Dre, there is a such thing, Dre. Let me ask you a question.
Let's keep the question. The question was, is this a knock on Giannis because they're about to lose this series 4-1, and the facts are the facts. They got blew out while Giannis was playing.
Correct.
And the defensive approach to Giannis in his first few years, because while he does shoot, and he actually shoots more this year than he even did previous years, but overall, the defensive approach to Giannis has been sag and let him shoot, because if he gets in the paint, it's a wrap. The guy makes like 70% or more of his shots in the paint than he does outside of the paint. So while he's developing his shot, that's his superstar deficiency currently. That's the knock on him. And it looks bad that they got blue. They're going to get blown out this series, although it looks like there may be something happening because Derek said we're speaking too soon.
Joe, name me one player that don't have a deficiency. A superstar deficiency. Every superstar has a deficiency. So let me ask you guys something, Dre and Joe, because now Joel is starting to jump ship, and this is what it never fails. So here's the thing. Yeah, so here's the thing. Dre, question for you. You're a coach, right? And you coach defense, right? You run and against certain teams, you run set defenses, right? You come up with the defensive scheme, right? But you discovered that in this particular set, we do really well, regardless of what team we're playing with, right? So in essence, there's a such thing from a coaching perspective at playing to your strengths, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
So I don't understand why we're beating up Giannis because he don't prefer jump shooting as his first option, but he understands that basketball sense, high IQ says, playing closer to the basket, I have a higher probability of making the shot, which is why Kobe Bryant was as good as he was. He played closer to the basket. As he got older, he played, for a little further away because he developed the jump shot because of the body, right? But Giannis understands that high field goal percentage says, I'm playing closer to the basket. He's good at what he does. Now, let me say this too. We have to explore. We can't put this all on Giannis. We have to explore the coaching. Who is this guy that's coaching? Michael Budenholzer. Who is he?
Two-time NBA Coach of the Year.
NBA Coach of the Year.
Why though? Why is he NBA Coach of the Year? Because of Giannis. So because of Giannis. So I ask you before, what is his coaching resume? Who is he?
He got Coach of the Year before he got to Giannis.
But who is he?
He was Coach of the Year He was Coach of the Year before he got Giannis, though.
Where?
He was with the Hawks, wasn't he?
He was with who?
He got Coach of the Year with the Hawks first.
Listen, who are the Hawks?
That's why he got Coach of the Year, because he made him relevant.
So here's my
But
point.
the question. Wait, you're not answering the question. Is it a knock on Giannis because they're about to go out 2 years in a row?
No, it is not. Because it's not Giannis's fault, because Eric Spoelstra did his job and had a coaching scheme against a great team. Now, and what we're seeing right now is that Michael, or the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, is actually just being outcoached right now. They just being outcoached. That's what it is.
So what does it say if let's just go into the hypothetical for a moment, because right now it looks like we have ourselves a game in the fourth quarter. What if the Bucks make this a series without Giannis? Then who gets the credit? Budenholzer, right? Because doesn't he get the credit if they get 7? If let's say they just take it to 7 with no Giannis, is that a knock on Giannis?
Yes.
It wouldn't be a knock on Giannis. No.
Quiet. Yes.
No, not at all.
Because they play better without him. Your team is playing better. Now, not in general, just against this team. This team plays in a way that you being on the floor hurts your team in crunch time. I'm not saying he hurts the team overall, because that would be crazy, because they're the number 1 seed in the East. Of course, they've been running through people. They house people. They destroy people.
Right.
But in this game, in this series, in these situations, he does not benefit his team. He's a minus 20 on the court when he's on the court. Your team performs better when he's not there, or you just need to utilize him in a different way. I will give you that. Budenholzer, utilize him in a different way to help your team. Put him on the block. Do some post-ups. Make him pass out of the double team. I'm with you. You got to figure out ways to win, because we all know when your back is against the wall and you know you're going to lose, we going to throw some shit on the wall to see if it stick. So I'm with you. It needs some evolution needs to happen with the play call.
So do you get rid of?
Is it a knock on him if they lose? Hell yeah! It's his team. It's predicated around him. Everything about this series, he's been horrible. So why would it not? If it was LeBron, he would get destroyed if he lost in the second round.
It depends on what you.
Why he would get destroyed if he lost in the second round. So why can't we hold him to the same?
I mean, there is a level of accountability, right? There's a level of accountability on his end, because that just comes with the superstardom, right? But is it all his fault? Is it mostly his fault? Absolutely not. And so now you have to ask yourself the question: if you put in the situation, if you're the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks, you have an opportunity to make a change, do you get rid of the coach or do you get rid of Giannis? I don't think they're going to get rid of Giannis. They're going to get rid of the coach. They're going to get rid of the coach and bring in a high quality coach that can coach him up mentally. That's the only thing that he's missing. Giannis is the face of the league, guys. Do you not realize what you're saying? That's disrespectful.
He's missing a jump shot too.
He's missing a jump shot, but he's the face of the league. Period. Everybody knows that Giannis is the next guy. He is, outside of Kevin Durant, outside of LeBron James. Giannis is the guy.
Luka.
That's why they call him the Greek freak. He's unstoppable.
He's not even Greek. He just grew up.
I don't care.
Those are little comments you be throwing out, so I'm gonna throw them out to you.
All right, so let's see here. We got Dr. Stu32 said MVP can't make it to the conference finals 2 years in a row. Christina Todd says this game is over. Aaron Pringle Jr. said he needs a Batman, which is interesting. Ooh, he's not saying he needs a Robin. He said he needs a Batman. He also said, no, he's not. If you can't shoot, you can't win. Let's transition. We got this.
One last point. Okay. The league now, your best player has to shoot. The league now, your best player has to be a great ball handler to take over the game to either make a great play or make the play themselves.
That's not true.
Giannis cannot do either one of those.
That's not true.
It's definitely.
Right, I gotta pull a show host.
Name everybody. They all can handle the ball and take over the game.
There have been instances where Damian Lillard did not really shoot the basketball that well, and others step up.
Instances,
that's what makes the team.
He can do it though.
If you're lacking in an area, guess what? You have several other team members that are great in. So
can he do it though? Can he do it? Dame can do it.
Hey, look, it's not Giannis's fault when he got triple teamed that the other teammates didn't step up and step up to the plate. They stepped up to the plate and got one game, as we can see, they get knocked out. So at the end of the game, they got to step up. And that's a coaching situation.
We're gonna call the bell on that one. We got 3 other conference series to jump into real quick. We gotta make it quick because we want to make sure we keep our listeners with us. And this won't be the last time sports.
I see all in the comments.
I'm disappointed in you, Aaron. You know better than that. Aaron Pringle, you know better than that.
Oh,
if you want to get on, Joel, let's hit you a link too.
Hey, anybody want to have something to say? We can bring you in. Get your video camera out. Get your microphone ready. Let's transition to that other series that's happening right now in the East. It's a pretty good series. It was tied 2-2. Boston just took the lead in that series by really handling the Raptors. 3-2 in that series. Is that series over? Sports, yes. Is the series over? Does Boston close it out in the next game and win this series 4-2, or does Toronto still have a fight to send this to 7?
If Boston come to play and do what they're supposed to do, this series is definitely well over. I don't think that the Raptors have enough firepower, because when you think about the game that they won, the coach said, "I got to get Kyle Lowry more shots." so they're relying on Kyle Lowry. That is definitely not good. So you're in a bad situation when you're relying on him for offensive power, because that's not really his game.
Yeah, the Boston, you got 2.5 go-to guys, right? You got Tatum, you got Kemba, and Jaylen Brown get hot when he wants to. And then their secondary pieces, Marcus Smart.
Wow,
is like they're loaded. They're deep. Yeah. They're loaded. They got great coaching. They shouldn't even lost the game that they lost when OG hit the 3 to win their game. So this series probably should have been over yesterday. But I look forward to seeing Boston versus Miami in the third round.
So you can say that they got great coaching with the Celtics, but you can't talk about the coaching staff with the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a double standard. Wow, come on.
I just told him he needs to evolve and put Giannis on the block because he's not a superstar. So let him pass out the double team.
Okay. So they need to make some coaching adjustments, right?
I think we settled on we're 50-50 there. There's a coaching issue and there's a shooting issue.
70-30.
All right, let's take it to the Western Conference, where generally speaking, in most cases, that's always the more entertaining side of things when it comes to the playoffs, because like you heard Dre say before, it's top heavy in the East, where you got a 1 through 8 competitive situation in the West. We're in the conference semifinals. We're talking NBA with Sports.Steve here on the Academy Sports Podcast. We appreciate everybody joining us. Listen, man, with all this activity in the chat, man, we appreciate it. Whether you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you hit that bell. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you share, man. Let people know. Tonight, we got even more people than we had last week, so we appreciate everybody joining us. And if you're listening to us in podcast land, as always, you can find us on iTunes and on SoundCloud. But let's talk NBA playoffs, Western Conference semifinals. So we'll start with the one that is probably not as much of a billboard material as the one that is the most popular. We'll start with the Denver and the Clip series. That series right now, 2-1 Clippers. Denver came out, lost that first game. Clippers kind of controlled it. People thought it was over. Denver came back game 2 and really shot the ball well. Both the Joker and the young fella at guard had a great game. And then game 3, Clippers had a defensive stand and kind of held things together at the end. So we kind of seen blowout. We've seen tight. We've seen late game heroics from the Stars on the Clipper side of things. Sports.C. Do the Nuggets have a chance in this series? And not only that, sir, call it. Who wins this series? Give us your prediction, because the next time we have you on, we might have something to hold you accountable to.
Well, I'm rolling with the Clippers, because they're the best team right now. They're the best team. They're really tough to beat. You know, they have all the pieces. They have all of the pieces: offense, defense, and mostly defense. Patrick Beverly is leading the charge, and then Kawhi, has a nice defensive presence, as we can see the other night. He blocked the basketball with his finger, when Jamal Murray was trying to dunk on him. So I just don't think that. And then with the Denver Nuggets, depending upon what type of night, they don't know if Jokic is going to come to play or not, and going back and forth, Patrick Beverly mentioned about him flopping all the time. And, he do a lot of flailing to, get the call and stuff like that. Goes back to being soft, let's just step up and just play basketball. So they just don't have what it takes, even though they did have a good shooting night and they was able to, get a win. But I think this is definitely over. Is for sure over. And if they were going to win, if they were going to win, they had a chance to do it last night and they blew it.
Ooh, so this is over. Okay, so what's this? It's 2-1 right now. You got Clips in 5 or Clips in 6?
I say Clips in 5. That's it.
All right. I say Clips in 6. I think the Nuggets are going to get one more. I really do. I think the young guns. Jamal Murray, I think is the name I just kind of forgot. And I think the young guns are going to get it done one more time. I don't think they have enough. I agree with you. Clippers are a complete team. Defensively, offensively, they got two bona fide. They got a Batman and Robin for sure. And I think the Clippers still get this done. I just think they get it done in 6. I think the Nuggets can get one more. And then next year, you got to see what they can do. But they definitely will be going fishing before we get back on the air next week. But I like the Clippers in 6 as well. Dre, what say you?
It's hard because the others in the Clippers haven't been stepping up. You hark back to what Lou Williams did against the Mavs, man. He was a beast, but you really haven't really seen him much this series. So he got a game in him. The Lou Will game is coming sooner or later. And even if Murray gets off, you got two guys that can guard the ball. So you could put PG on him, you could put Kawhi on him. So it's kind of hard when you just got one guy that can get 50, but you got two guys that are great on the defensive end. So that really puts the shoulder of everything on Jokic. And like she said, Jokic is either here one day and not here the next day. So it's kind of hard to rely on this Denver team. And Michael Porter Jr. has been so absent. This guy, it was so much talk about this guy coming into this series, reworking his body, get a shot. I mean, he got a nice game, but he doesn't have much confidence. And the coach don't know whether he wants to start Michael or Gary Harris. So, they got a lot of guys, but there's not a lot of roles being defined on this team. So I don't see them winning another game if Paul George and Kawhi do what they got to do.
Okay, so you got Clips in 5, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm looking for Lou Will to have a Lou Will game sooner or later.
Yeah, he nice. He hit some big shots last night.
Yeah, he did. So it's almost like you can feel him. He's probably coming on strong pretty soon. And game 5 could be maybe that. Game 4, game 5 could be maybe that situation. All right, last but not least, before we let Sports Stat Steve go, man, this the big series, man. This the headliner. It's the Rockets versus the Lakers. It's Bryant and AD versus Russ and the Beard, man. Do you believe in the Rockets? Is this really a series, or are we just watching the inevitable Lakers take this in 5 or 6 and we got the best punch out of the Rockets in game 1? What say you, sir? Do you have a bold one for this one?
I do. I'm hoping that the Rockets knock they blank out. You feel me? I'm hoping that they knock them out, bro. That's what I'm hoping. I am not. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I'm gonna make all your listeners mad too, because I know we got a lot of LeBron lovers in here. I am not a Laker fan like that, bro. You hear me? I want the Rockets to win. Why? Because I'm a Westbrook fan. You feel me? I'm a Westbrook fan, and
that explains a lot.
That's you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is.
That explains a lot right there. You should have just started off the show with that. Then everybody could understand where you was coming from.
I'm rolling with the dog who don't want to be friends with nobody. I'm rolling with the dog that want to take a bite out of you. I'm rolling with the dog that will see you, an innocent person that's just walking down the street and then look at you and just start chasing you for no reason. That's what I'm rolling with. That's what I'm rolling with. And I believe, hey, check this out. I believe that they can do it. I believe they can do it. James Harden, hey, you know what I'm saying? He needs to turn it up a little bit and do what he do. Russell Westbrook, he had a rough game, you know, but he got to step up, and I believe that he will. I believe he'll make that adjustment because I like the players that play with a chip on their shoulders. The Lakers, they don't. The Lakers are being poorly coached right now, and here's the reason why I say that. And they would have probably had a better chance winning with Jason Kidd because. Can't nobody really coach LeBron. LeBron is going to do what he do. He's ball dominant. He slows the game. He slows the game down tremendously. He always has to have the ball in his hand. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Anthony Davis, once again, I don't like his body language. You know, he's straight, but I don't like his body language. And both of them are not allowing Kyle Kuzma to be who he is. They're not. Kyle Kuzma is not shooting the basketball enough. He's not. And that's exactly why to me, that's why I'm pulling for Houston. And, you know, if Houston do what they're supposed to do and step up, they'll win this series because they can do it. Because I believe that, you know, now that LeBron and them, they got their confidence back, but LeBron and them was a little afraid, I think, personally. But, so, you know, that's my prediction. It's going to go 7. I'm rolling with Houston, though.
Okay. I'm about to say, I get what you're feeling like you hope to happen because of what you don't like. Your prediction is Houston in 7.
Houston in 7. Flat out.
Right, y'all heard the man. Somebody said, "See, you need to say no to drugs."
Hey, who said that? Who said that? Who said?
D. Dawkins said, "See, say no to drugs," and Stu Buchanan said, "Joe Brook is the worst point guard in the league."
Hey, let me say this to D. Dawkins. D. Dawkins, hey, see me on the court, bro. You can't beat me at 101. Period.
Hey, that's a Russell Westbrook response right there.
Period. You can't beat me. Hey, D Dawkins, you probably don't even know anything about basketball, but what you see on TV, bro. Can you beat me 101? I'm not talking about beating the drums. I'm talking about playing basketball. That's what I'm talking about. See me on the court, bro.
Dre, what say you, brother? What say you? Western Conference semifinal, Houston or Lakers, sir?
Listen, I do agree that I think this series is going to go long. So I'm going 6-7 games, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Listen,
that's what I thought, man. Sit down, bro.
Listen, you in full mode right now. You in full mode. I know I'm wrong. So play basketball against me right now.
Let's go
right now.
Let's go.
I got the right. I don't care. You play me in basketball, and I'll show you who's right. No.
Oh, God.
Listen, Westbrook is hot garbage. Hot, smoking pile of garbage, all right?
Uh-oh.
But I give it to James Harden, and I get the way this team is constructed, and I'll give them games because they did look good game 1. But I do agree with LeBron after game 1. He said we had to get used to their pace because they play fast. They get shots up fast. They run up and down the court fast. They got shooters. They got somewhat of depth. But if the key is Anthony Davis, and I agree with you, that brother needs some cojones on him. So if Anthony Davis, if you get him the ball on the block over and over again, keep giving the ball. If PJ Tucker is the guy that's guarding you, you should have 50 every single game. And the reason why LeBron has the ball in his hands, I think Cephas is and the reason why LeBron has the ball in his hands, Cephas went to go meet you at the court, D. So if you want to go meet him out there, take a flashlight out to Clinton Township, and he out there right now, just getting his Westbrook on. He out there dribbling real fast, don't know what to do. Out here. LeBron has the ball in his hands most of the time because they ain't got no point guard. So he is the best option. Their lack of depth hurts them. LeBron and AD has to play 40 minutes. They don't trust Kyle Kuzma because he did nothing for them to trust.
Right.
there's a lack of trust and a lack of depth on this Laker team. Are they super talented, top heavy? Of course, but they have zero depth. Once you get to J.R. Smith, Alex Caruso, and Dion Waiters, there's no depth there. So of course they don't trust Kyle Kuzma. They don't trust Dwight Howard. They don't trust these guys. So yeah, they're gonna have to go 40-40 or 50-50 like him and Kyrie had to do. But I think this is a 7-game series because I do give Houston some games because they play fast, they hit the 3 ball really well, and James Harden, they don't really have anybody that can perimeterally guard him because their guards, all LA guards are trash. So I do give them games in this. So I see it 7 games, but at the end of the day, in a game 7, I'm taking LeBron all day.
Well, I agree with both of you guys. I think that at the end of the day, this goes 6 for those same reasons. I think it goes 6 because you got to get Houston's going to win another one because of the fact that they do shoot the 3 ball well. They're and the other thing is too, which a lot of people aren't talking about because I think it's hard to believe in it. Their defense is actually scrapped. They have the #1 defense since coming back from the break because of COVID. And I think you got to give them some credit on that front because by them playing small on D, certain players are used to certain guys guarding them a certain way. And so when you're like an AD and you got a little fella on you, you're used to him you're used to being able to body him, back him down, kind of shoot over him. But they don't guard that way. They move around a lot. They don't let you get your body on them. They have a lot of help defense going on. Their hands are always in passing lanes. And so they get a lot of run out. So I think that's another piece to why this series has that potential to go a little longer than what a lot of people would give it, to add to that. So we want to get ready to say goodbye to Sports Dad Seif, but I wanted to get him back in here. We appreciate you joining us today. We got Sports Dad Seif in the building. Hey, brother, tell us where the fans can find you at, man. They can look you up on YouTube. When will you be on again, and we can check you out?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thanks for having me on the show. You guys know it's all love, and sports talk, and to your wonderful audience. I appreciate you guys dealing with me and putting up with me. It's always a pleasure coming on the show. And but you can check me out for all of your high school recruiting information. Hey guys, listen, I can't say this enough that this whole recruiting thing, it's really a process to it. And you guys really need to tap in, subscribe to the channel, and just check it out. Sports Dad Cephas Harris. You can reach me on YouTube. You can follow me on all of my social media outlets, Instagram and Twitter at the same handle, Sports Dad Cephas. You can find me out there. So check it out and refer the channel. If you know, all of us have athletes or somebody in our family that's inspiring to play at the next level. So let's help them out and get tapped in.
All right, brother, man. Appreciate it. So y'all heard the man. Check him out. Go to Sports Dad Cephas on YouTube. You can find him on Twitter. He's on IG, whatever social media platform y'all have, man. You can find him there. Got a lot of great information. We appreciate you joining us, brother. We will definitely have you back on the show for some more great sports talk, man.
I just want to say one more thing. And on this coming Friday, I have Ron Bellamy, who is the West Bloomfield High School football coach, who always has a load of top Division I talent and 4 and 5-star athlete recruits. And so he deals with, the recruiting at a high level. And he's going to be in my live session on Friday at 7:30. So make sure you tap in for that and come with your questions and your comments as well. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yes, sir. We have to check that out, brother. All right, man. Take care. Appreciate you, bro. All right, man. So that way, we knew that was coming.
Oh,
that was
good. That was dope. He definitely always gets the blood boiling, but in a good way.
That was good. All right, man. So, hey, where are we going, bro?
So let's make that pivot over to the NFL, yo. It's here. Too much. Let's make that pivot over to the NFL, man. Football starts next week, man. Thursday night. We got Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes to kick it off. Yes, there's no fans in the attendance, but it don't matter. It's still football. And we had our fantasy draft, and it feels like, especially today, Jesus, 60s, low 60s all day. It feels like fall. It feels like football weather. And I'm so excited for the NFL season to start. So we got a game that is dedicated to football this year. We got Who You Got coming back for another round this week. Listen, our Who You Gots get real testy. So make sure you stay locked on here. I don't care if you know football or not. Your favorite players are coming up. Your team is coming up, maybe. And we're going to play around a Who You Got NFL edition.
NFL edition. We're going NFL edition.
Let's kick it off, sir. Let's kick it off right now.
This is
with the first Who You Got.
This is always a setup.
Always a setup. It's not a setup. Who you got? Bigger 2020 impact. This is the receiver battle. The newly traded DeAndre Hopkins of the Arizona Cardinals versus Odell Beckham Jr. of the Cleveland Browns. Who has the bigger impact? You can formulate that question however you want. Wins, losses, statistics, attitude, everything. Who has the bigger impact on their team this year?
All right. I'm not going to go homer here and sound like a homer. I'm going to definitely back up what I believe is the answer to this question. Straight up. Promise.
Straight up.
All right. So, bigger impact. We got DeAndre Hopkins. We got him in Arizona. We got Odell still in Cleveland with another year under his belt. And I'm going to actually, not because I'm wearing the Browns hat, okay? Yes, that's my team. Let me be clear.
This is not a homer pick.
A homer pick. Biggest impact.
This is not a homer pick.
We got to define
you
impact.
You don't know who I'm picking.
See, this is why I can't do this with you. It's a setup. I'm gonna go bigger impact because I'm gonna define impact as this. I feel like from an impact on the team, I feel like the bigger pick is going to be Hop because Hopkins is going to impact Arizona and the young quarterback more than Odell will Cleveland and the offense. Even though I believe that Baker is going to have a better year, and I think that the play call is going to be better in Cleveland as far as them, not better than Arizona, not compared to two, but I think the play calling in Cleveland is going to be better, and I think that players like Beckham and Jarvis will get opportunities this year that they should have gotten last year. I think you got to call Hop as the bigger impact because that's a young team in Arizona with a young quarterback, and he had a really good season last year. All things considered, most rookie quarterbacks, they struggle. He plays in a very tough division where the defensive line presence in that division is always strong. Young fella was running for his life a lot last year, but he can do that. This is his second year, though, and I think most quarterbacks, they struggle in that second year. There's always kind of that sophomore slump, which I learned it hits hard in some places, harder than others. But I think that you're going into your second year and you're getting a guy like Hopkins added to your offense. That's a good thing for you. There's a guy that you know is going to be open. The guy gets open a lot, and that's going to be helpful. Now, will the system work, right? So the play calling in Houston was set up a certain way. O'Brien play calling. Hop had a really good quarterback. Oftentimes they had a speedy guy on the other side. Larry Fitzgerald still in Arizona, so that's big for Hopkins to have that Hall of Fame guy to continue to get better. I'm sure he'll learn some things, learn some tricks of the trade. So I think ultimately Hopkins has a bigger impact because what I'm thinking about from impact is how does he impact his team and how does he impact his quarterback? And I think ultimately Beckham needs Baker to have a comeback season in order for him to have the impact that he would normally have, where I think Hopkins brings a level of impact to Houston that's going to have a huge impact on that. I mean, to Arizona, it's going to have a huge impact on that team and on Kyler Murray and can help him not maybe have so bad of a second season. So now what?
What? So I'm actually extremely torn on this.
Really?
Extremely torn because I feel I am a wholehearted believer in the sophomore slump. Like I wholeheartedly believe that. And I can't say D Hop ain't gonna get off because he's had worse quarterbacks in his career and still got off.
True.
So in that sense, I feel like Hopkins can impact that team, but I do believe in the sophomore slump. I think people will catch up to what Kyler Murray is doing. I don't like the coach there in Arizona. It's going to be a lot of option, so it's going to be a lot of underneath routes for Larry Fitzgerald, and I feel like D Hop is just going to be out here running routes and not really getting chances for deep balls. Like you said, the offensive line kept him running all year. So for him to sit back in the pocket, have time, and let the deep ball go, I don't really see Hop getting off like that. It sounds good, it looks good, but I don't really think that it'll generate wins and statistics that way. On the other hand, you got Baker coming out of his sophomore slump. He got another year under his belt, although it's a new system. The system hopefully makes more sense than Freddie Kitchens' double reverse second play of the game kind of offense, right? So you would think they would put Odell and Jarvis and all these weapons in a great situation to have a great season.
Right.
But I waffle with this. Why it's not hardcore Odell for me is impact. And Odell's attitude definitely impacts a team in a locker room. And if he ain't getting the touches and if he ain't doing this, I feel like his energy, if they start losing games, would hurt them. So it's like I want to pick Odell because I do believe he'll have a better statistical year than D-Hop. I feel like D-Hop's the better receiver, but the question is bigger impact. And I think Odell will have the bigger impact, both positively and negatively, unfortunately. So I look for Odell to have a big season if everything goes well, and a better statistical season than D-Hop because I don't see their offense running through him. I see the offense running through wherever Kyler Murray feels like doing.
So do you think was last year not enough for you in the locker room piece where you're seeing they didn't play up to potential last year and Baker had a bad season? I would say Odell didn't have a bad locker room season from a perspective of the drama and the level of drama we probably could have seen with a team that has so much expectation. Do you think that was enough to show you that he can be a locker room guy, or he can be, he just about said all the right things in the media last year?
He did, except for that San Francisco game. Hey, Jimmy, come get me. But that was in losing. What if they win games? And what if he has a game where he's not getting a rock? Or, he's just such an explosive personality, you just don't know. So I can't pinpoint it and say I trust him because he ebbs and flows so much. But he did have a very consistent attitude last year. I believe he played hurt all last year. So that's why another reason why his numbers were down and couldn't produce as much as he wanted to. But I'm picking Odell. I'm picking Odell on this. But I'm not I'm not 100 on it, but I'm picking Odell just because I don't think D-Hop will get the opportunities in Arizona that he got in Houston.
So interesting. This is one we're reversed on. I expected us to be the opposite here, and so I didn't fall for the trick. What's the next one?
All right, next up, who you got NFL? Hey, we appreciate the comments. No Fam said Hopkins. D-Dog said that's a good one. Stu said he picking Hop over suspect Beckham. Colin Murray is not stupid. He'll get the ball to Hopkins, especially on the underneath routes. But that's Hop. He got to change his route tree now. But that was Larry's tree last year. Larry's tree was all underneath stuff. Get the ball. They got the speedy guy in the slot. Can't think of his name. I think it's Kirk or something like that. So D-Hop got to play the X. He got to be on the outside. He's got to be the deep ball guy. He's got to be the deep post guy. If he ain't got time for that, you ain't getting the ball, kid. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. That's all. All right, so the next, who you got? Better season. You can put that in perspective however you want. Better season. statistical win-loss, impact, MVP, however you feel, Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees?
Can I ask you why some of my favorite players or teams always show up in the Who You Got?
Some of your favorite players are good players. That's a testament to you.
Better season.
Better season.
I'm gonna go statistical here. Actually, I mean, I just think, oh man, better. How do you define that, right? I think once again, both of these teams are playoff bound. I think Green Bay is in a division they should win. I mean, you got a great defense in Chicago, but they keep starting Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback. The Vikings, I think you can get two teams out of the NFC North because I think the Vikings if they get on a run, you've seen what they can do if they stay healthy. They'll be able to run the ball pretty well, and they always have a pretty strong defense. And then I don't think what you saw Green Bay do last year was fake. I think that was real. I think Aaron Rodgers has better years when he has a running back, and they have a legitimate running back in Green Bay. I think that also is a negative to him because then he doesn't throw it as much. In the old Mike McCarthy offenses, the running back was limited. There was going to be a lot of throwing, kind of improvising calls at the line that we've heard that doesn't happen as much anymore. On the flip side of things, Drew Brees is Drew Brees, and the Saints are the Saints. We know how that goes. That's going to be big time. That offense is going to be rolling. So, man, Stu says, can't believe I'm saying this, but Aaron Rodgers because he wants to leave Green Bay on a high note. I like that angle, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to because of the control of the coach and how things are different there. I think him and McCarthy just worked better, which they said at times that was tough. I'm going to go with Brees on this one. I think it's just going to be because the familiarity with Sean Payton, everything's the same down there. Word on the street is Kamar's is about to sign. They still got arguably the best receiver in the game, and Michael Thomas. Their defense is still going to give up 25 to 30 points a game, and so they're going to have to score 35 to 40 points a game. So I think ultimately it just kind of statistically works out. And for the first time in a long time, Brees is my quarterback on fantasy. So I need him to have a big year. But I'm gonna go with Brees. I think it's close, but I think Brees probably edges him out on how we're defining better. I think overall, statistically and team wise, I think the Saints maybe finally get over the hump this year and they work out better.
Yeah, I mean, both teams were very successful last year. Both teams made the playoffs, but Brees is always going to have like the statistical edge because he throws the ball. They throw the ball more. They have more high power offense. And like you said, the offense really it's kind of taking the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. They're kind of more run heavy with Aaron Jones this year. But Stu brought it up where like this chip on Aaron Rodgers' shoulders growing bigger and bigger every day.
It is.
And as a Lions fan, we know what Aaron Rodgers can do on a night-in, night-out basis. So you never want to pick that man in anything, but he a bad man. Drew Brees, this is his curtain call. This is last season, potentially. They're going all out this year. They're trying to sell draft picks to get, Hall of Fame guys. They're trying to go all out. So this one's kind of hard for me too. Like, do you take the sure thing, which is Drew Brees is a sure 5,000, 40 touchdown, NFC, at least NFC championship or semifinals kind of guy, right? Or you take Aaron Rodgers with that chip on his shoulder, with a good defense, a mediocre offense, but he got it in him. I don't know. And when I made this, I was leaning towards Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
But now I'm leaning towards Drew Brees. Because in every better season, statistically, Drew Brees. Win-loss. See, win-loss is hard because the NFC South, got harder. But win-loss, I would still pick the Saints. But now they ain't got no fans. So it's
Okay.
a really difficult place to win and lose in now. Like I'm
Quiet.
talking myself out of it right now.
It's quiet.
I'm just gonna pick Drew Brees. I'm gonna pick Drew Brees. Statistically, win-loss. Last season, last hurrah. But that boy Aaron Rodgers, I don't put nothing past
him. Okay. All right. So we move into our last one, it looks like.
Our last who you got. Who you got better season, Matthew Stafford or Dak Prescott?
Man, this is easy for me to pick if I want to be cruel like I love to be at this time of year because I enjoy watching the suffering of Lions fans. And yes, I know that Dak has a number one receiver. And yes, I know that they have a new coach, and he's an offensive guy and he could put them in good position. Yes, he has a running back. Yes, he has an offensive line usually down there as well. All things considered, the offensive line down there stays healthy. That's a good football team. Stafford, we know this guy. I think Stafford is one of the most ridiculed players in Detroit sports history because, and unfairly in a sense, because this organization never builds around this guy. But he stays. He gets up, he goes to work, puts his hard hat on.
Gets up and goes to work.
So better season. I'm actually going with Stafford on this, man. And I'm going to tell you why. Because until he got hurt last year, he was having another excellent football season. And every year, this guy has a really good season. The knock on him, of course, like every other quarterback that has to take this knock, is they don't get to the playoffs. They don't win the big game. I think that has a lot to do with the lack of talent around him. They have a chance to have a good running back this year. They drafted well at running back. I think the DeAndre Swift kid is a pretty good player. Unfortunately, they don't run the ball really well. Man, see, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all see this stuff? He's taking a hit right now from watching the show. Just, Stafford won't play 12 games. He doesn't stay healthy, but he doesn't stay upright because he never has an offensive line. They're always hurt. These guys draft offensive linemen every year, and the guys are done by week 4. So if the dude can stay upright and you can protect the man, the guy, he can throw it from every angle. He can throw the dime like he needs to. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not super sold on Dak being the franchise guy in Dallas. Stafford, to me, has lasted a long time because the guy, you got to give him credit, is a good quarterback. And I think this year he has a better season. Not that his team does anything because the Lions are going to be again, but I think he has a better season than Dak does. And that's barring him being injured, of course, which is tough to say.
So you pick him statistically to have a better season?
I'm picking him statistically, yes.
I choose Dak Prescott. I knew when I made this graphic I was choosing Dak Prescott, and nothing was going to make me not pick Dak Prescott. I'm picking Dak Prescott. I know they're going to run the ball. I know they're going to run the ball 50 times a game. I know they got a good defense, but I'm still picking Dak Prescott over Matthew Stafford. I know Stafford's going to throw the ball 40 times a game. I'm still picking Dak Prescott. Listen, he got the better receivers. He's got the better running game. He's got the better line. Hell, he might have a better coach, if all we know. I can't get behind Matthew Stafford. I agree with you, Stu. Like, he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna miss games. They're gonna make him throw the ball 40 times a game. He's gonna make mistakes just because of that. I ain't got no love for the man. I ain't got no love for him. If a ticker came back right now that said Dak Prescott traded for Matthew Stafford and we extended Dak Prescott, I would be okay with it. I would be okay. Take his butt back to Texas and give us Dak Prescott. Dual threat guy, I'm with it. I'm not a Dak fan either. I'm just, when you put them up side by side like that, Dak Prescott's going to have a better win-loss record, better statistical year. He's going to throw less interceptions. He's going to rush for more yards. He's going to have the bigger impact. Dak Prescott all day.
So you're defining better as overall, just you're saying everything. You think statistics, team, everything's gonna be better. See, I think team 100%. I think statistically, Stafford can have a better season than Dak Prescott because
I think Stafford could throw for 5,000 yards because he's going to have to. But I think it's going to be 5,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. I think Dak can go for 3,500. 30 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and win 13 games. You know what I'm saying?
I think Dak is going to benefit from the Mike McCarthy system because I think Dak's going to be protected. So I think if you could argue 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions is a better season than Stafford's 5,000, 34 touchdowns, and 18 interceptions. I mean, you can argue that's better from a value standpoint of his team and how that impacts the team. Statistically, that's a better year for Stafford. But how those statistics match up to what the productivity of the team is, like you said, we're defining it in its open definition, right? So I think you're right. I think Dak benefits from being in the McCarthy system. I think it's going to allow Dak to do a couple more things that he didn't do under Garrett. What I never liked about Dallas under Garrett was they didn't play action ball a lot. And to me, with a guy like Zeke, play action is a killer. And especially with the guys that you have that can go downfield, and they just picked up the young draft pick so they added the speed in the slot to go with Amari Cooper on the outside. So
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, so I think it's just a question. I think from your perspective, I see why you would say better. I think statistically, if you just call numbers versus numbers, I think Stafford has a better year, and it's going to be high risk, high reward. You're right. He is going to have to throw it 40 to 50 times a game. I think that's unfortunate. That's where I've always struggled to root for the local team here because he doesn't need to throw the football 50 times a game. Like run the ball, please. Give the guy a chance. Like, it's real easy to defend the Lions. You know what they're going to do every single time, and they don't have good players. They have their best receiver is T.J. Houshmandzadeh. So, or not? It's not even T.J. Houshmandzadeh. It's what's his name? Hockenbeal.
White T.J. Houshmandzadeh.
White T.J. Houshmandzadeh. That's what it was. So, but no, I can see where you're going with that one. So. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. I think we know the Lions are going to be bad. So it's just a matter of kind of watching it happen again. But I think this should be his last hurrah. I think he should stop beating himself up every year and go ahead and call it quits. And you could argue that the guy had a really good career outside of the fact that his team's never won anything.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the Who You Got this week. We appreciate you guys. Comment on that, Stu. Thanks for holding us down, brother. All right. So last but not least, I think when we come back next week, we'll have a whole NFL preview because we went long on basketball today. Thanks to our guests, y'all were really enthralled with the conversation. So I think next week will be a good time to have that.
We like to give people what they want.
Yeah, had that great conversation about football and impact and division winners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, Joel, do you want to introduce your segment?
So I just want to know. This is a moment where this kind of hit me the other day. We were talking about this. This is the one. Wait, which one? The second to last one, right? On the rundown.
I can't see it. The predicting headlines.
NFL favorite or crystal ball?
Oh, favorite? Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah, we can do that.
All right. So NFL team favorite expectations. NFL favorite team expectations. So what's your your synopsis. We won't go too in depth, but the season starts Thursday.
Oh man, you froze, man. All right, so everybody knows the home team is my team. All right, the home team. Shout out to Nick Bowers. The home team is my team. All right, so the Lions, decent draft. You got a running back. You know, you got some pieces. You overpaid the offensive lineman. You still ain't got no really good receivers other than Galladay. Your defense is sus. You didn't upgrade your corners. You lost your best corner. You don't got no say. Like,
doesn't sound.
I'll be happy. Actually, I won't be happy. I expect 5 wins. I want 0. Let's keep it all the way 100. I want 0 wins this year. I want dumpster fire. I want regular Lions. I want Matthew Stafford's rookie year Lions. I want just go get Dan Orlovsky to be the starting quarterback Lions. I want just like make me puke in my mouth Lions. So we can go get sunshine. And the number 1 pick, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. I want you to ship everybody out, just like Jacksonville is doing, and just get rid of everybody so we can have Trevor Lawrence. I want to start over with Trevor Lawrence, but you know the Lions will never do what I want them to do. They're going to win games they're not supposed to win, and they're going to mess up their draft status, and we're going to be stuck at 6 for so no obvious pick for us to make. And we're going to win 5 games this year. Unfortunately, I'd rather you lose all of them.
So is it fair to say that if the Lions go on if they're just losing from the beginning, that every week our NFL segment is going to be exciting? Are you going to show?
Yes. Lose them all. Lose every game. I wrote Matt Patricia a letter. I wrote Martha Ford a letter. I wrote her daughter a letter. Please lose every game. Please lose every game.
They don't play. They don't play.
Tank for Ronnie Bass. Yes, sir. Tank for him. I want him. Tank for him. And if you happen to get second, Justin Fields is right there. Okay? I take either one. But I want Trevor Lawrence. I want him, and I want him back. I hope. Listen, if Trevor Lawrence blow his knee out this year and don't be the first-round pick, don't be a first pick, and he falls to 6 to us, that works too. Whatever scenario that works for me to get Trevor Lawrence in the Honolulu blue and silver, I will take it. You understand me? I will take it. So, Patriots North, NFC, suck this year, please.
All right, you guys heard the man. That's how he feels. All right, well, I have totally opposite hopes and expectations for my team. I am not a hometown fan. I definitely represent this team right here, the Cleveland Browns.
See an elf? What is that? I don't understand what the mascot is.
This is the old school Cleveland Browns mascot back in the day. He's a Brown.
Like skin or something? I don't
like that. Yeah. I did the history. I didn't like the hat. At the end of the day, this is a big year for us. Let's just call it what it is. I'm not about to go out on some crazy limb and declare Super Bowl or bust. But this is definitely a big year because this will now be year 3, I'll say year 2, but definitely year 3 of like having good players, multiple good players. You can't hear me?
Are you gonna do it?
Oh, be ready. So I have to start here. The season starts Thursday, and when I wake up Thursday morning and I think about the fact that the season starts, it's like a holiday. And the thing that comes out of my spirit is Cleveland. This is for you. My city. This is our year. Playoffs, baby. 10-6. 10-6.
You know your division is stacked, right?
Yes. is stacked with the Baltimore Ravens, and a suspect Pittsburgh Steelers team. I'm not believing in that team 100%. But I know Big Ben is back.
The
Baltimore Ravens are real life, and we open with them. And I'm not going to be happy in our next show because I don't expect to win.
Is that the headline you're going to predict?
However, this is the year, man. We got them. Like, I feel like the playoff drought came in here. I feel like this could be the year we finally get into. Somebody said it's a brownie. Good call, Stu. It is a brownie. Is that a brownie? I don't know. So I think it's big time. Like, we just re-signed Kareem Hunt to 2 more years. We don't have to have any contract issue conversations this year. It's Baker's 3rd year. I'm hoping he comes out of the slump. I like the coach. I think it's a good choice. I think offensively, I like what they did in Minnesota. I feel like coaching helps Kirk Cousins be Kirk Cousins, and not Kirk Cousins helps the team be great. I think it's the other way around. So I definitely think this helps. Defensively, I think they're strong. If they could just not be injured, they're going to battle for the North. I don't think they win the AFC North. I think they're the wild card team. I think it ends up being a battle between them and Pittsburgh for one of those 5th or 6th seeds to get into the NFL playoffs. And finally, this is the year we break a long playoff streak. 10-6, they get in by battling to get in. Maybe probably split the season series with Pittsburgh and get in off of some type of if this happens, then that. And then they better make the playoffs this year. Pittsburgh is old and ready to be took over. Yeah, hey, listen, you gotta respect them because those guys win, and Tomlin's an excellent coach. I'm not sure they've got enough. I think Cleveland's got a little more from a whole team perspective. But this is the year, man. Cleveland! Let's go, baby. 10-6. That's my prediction. I want my team to get dubs this year.
I probably 6-10. Probably 6-10. I don't trust Baker, bro. I'm sorry. He's gonna have to prove it to me. He's got to prove it. He's definitely got to prove it. All these weapons, if they don't win games, it's definitely him. Like, they got you a good coach.
That's true.
He's gonna give you a good scheme. You got a good back. You got weapons. Win some football games. They bought you an offensive line. But win some football games.
No, you're right. I can try to fight that as much as I want, but you're right. Sooner or later, I gotta admit it. I gotta get out of my heart and use my head.
My secondary team has changed.
Really? Oh,
I have moved to Tampa. I'm in Tampa Bay, soaking up the Rays with my man Tom Brady. I followed him. Oh, yeah. Did I follow him? You know I did. I followed him all the way to Tampa. Him and Gronk. We in the jacuzzi together with the old folks living in Tampa, stretching our legs, about to get some dubs in the NFC South. Let's go, Tampa. Tampa, Super Bowl.
Sir. That was a homer pick, right? That's just all Brady, right?
They have a Hall of Fame quarterback, great running backs, great receivers, good tight ends, a good line, drafted overall, the first-round pick, great big right tackle, great defense, good middle linebacker, great deep tackles, good corners. Super Bowl.
They're not going to the Super Bowl, bro. They're not going to the Super Bowl. But okay.
NFC Championship game. Buccaneers, Seahawks.
You drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. I made a second picture.
Oh, God. Well, I disagree with that pick wholeheartedly.
Okay.
They're going to have a good season. They're not going to.
My team.
That's right.
I got to have some kind of hope somewhere.
That's good. So that's going to be fun to watch as well as we watch this develop. My secondary team, the Green Bay Packers, are going to win the NFC North. Hail to the victors. They're going to win the NFC North. And they're going to lose at some point in the playoffs because they're not going to be as good as some of the other teams in the NFC. But they're going to win the NFC North. And I do think that you're right about Aaron Rodgers and that chip on his shoulder. It's a huge block. And he's out for blood. And when he's out for blood, you should not bet against that man, as I love to say on this show. And you finally have said it. That's a bad man.
Bad man.
Well, that's a bad man. So, all right. Well, to close out today, we're gonna have a new segment on the show: Crystal Ball Predictions. So I believe that my mindset was, when this came to my mind, and I texted you the other night, is that at the end of every show, we should take a moment and do a segment of what do we predict is going to happen for the weekend coming back into our next show. Is that what I said?
Yep.
All right. Stu said, of course, they play the Lions and Bears twice. Yes, that is true. They're going to get 4 wins off of them for sure. Well, the Bears might give them trouble, but that defense is still real in Chicago. But again, Mitchell Trubisky is the starting quarterback, so that doesn't mean anything. So crystal ball prediction. So new segment, giving everybody an opportunity to predict the future. We got a big week coming up. Thursday, we got the NFL starting. Fantasy leagues start this weekend. A lot of you that are fans of the show are also a part of that league, and we're in that league. So we had a nice draft the other day, and we got some pretty good balanced teams. That'll be interesting. NBA, you got games tonight, every other night, where by the time we talk again, we could be in conference finals. And then, of course, big Sunday coming up with the NFL, and you got some college football. ACC and the Big 12 start this weekend on Saturday. So a lot of things happening in this new COVID sports world that we currently reside in. Dre, what is your prediction? Give me a crystal ball prediction next time we meet again next Monday. What could the storyline be?
So my headline for my headline that people are going to talk about, people like to blow this guy out of proportion. After every great game, and I predict a great game on Thursday, Patrick Mahomes throws 5 touchdowns, throws for 300, 400 yards, and absolutely shreds the Houston Texans. Patrick Mahomes, is he the greatest quarterback of all time after he destroys the Houston Texans on Thursday? I think Pat Mahomes goes crazy on Thursday to push the envelope, to usher him into another stratosphere of love for Patrick Mahomes. I see a big game on Thursday.
Okay, all right. I'm going to stay in the NFL vein as well. I think that one of if not the biggest headline will be how did the NFL handle week 1 of the new COVID football league? Because you have a couple things coming to a kind of a head this weekend, right? So no preseason games. If you've watched like Hard Knocks, it's kind of giving you a little insight into kind of how they've been handling testing every day. The protocols are out now. They'll be testing leading up to the day before not the day before a game, but that Friday before a game, to allow for false positives and things for that to take place on Saturday, so that people don't get ruled out of games on Sunday unfairly. They're not going to be playing in front of anybody. Well, depending on where, because in some states you can have fans. Like there's a report that
Bengals are having fans.
Yeah, Cleveland and Cincinnati have opportunities to have fans because of state guidelines, things of that nature. But for the most part, there's going to be no fans. Also, lest we not forget, there are going to be some national anthems played at these football games over the weekend. So there's going to be some protesting. And it all started with Kaepernick and we know what kind of summer it's been. So you've got all these like converging storylines coming into play on the NFL. And Monday morning, when we wake up, or Monday before Monday Night Football takes place, will we have positive tests? Because they'll get tested probably the day after. Will we have positive tests before Monday Night Football or by the time we wake up on Tuesday? So I think the biggest headline will just be, how did week 1 in the NFL go? And the blame will go solely on the shoulders of the NFL. It won't be blamed on the players. It'll be blamed on how did the NFL handle all of the different storylines that are happening. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see. And I'm to be honest with you, I'm flat out excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, seeing how they handle the whole COVID thing. I think the protest thing, they kind of, they put their, hands down to that. So whatever happens on that tip. But the whole COVID thing, yeah, once there's a positive test, because there will be a positive test one day or 1 week or another, how they handle that, what's the protocols for that? Do games get canceled? Do teams have to quarantine? Do you miss scheduled games? That's why, when we did the fantasy league, I was like, I ain't taking no money because I don't even know who playing, when they gonna play, if the season get canceled. This is all a fluid situation. So I do understand that can definitely be a huge storyline coming into next show.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that does it for our football predictions. We'll try to do this every week. Like, this just came out of nowhere. I was watching the game, and I don't know why I texted you and said, let's do this, but that's how we landed here. So we want to thank everybody for sticking with us tonight. We did a long show tonight, but that happens here on this show. If you listen to us out in podcast land, we appreciate you listening. This is definitely one of those you can plug in while you're out on a run, out on a walk, driving in your car to and from work. You definitely can listen into this one, but most of all, we appreciate the fans joining us in our live feed. If you ever want to join us, we're here every Monday usually, but sometimes different days. So you just got to follow us on Instagram and on Facebook at Academy Sports Show. You can also follow us on YouTube at Academy Sports Show. Ring that bell if you want to make sure you subscribe and know when we're going live. You can also follow us individually at Dre _on air on IG for Dre, or at JWillow2 for me, or follow us on our Facebook pages at Joel Williams or Andre Douglas. If you listen to us in podcast, hopefully it's on iTunes on the Purple Podcast app, or you listen to us on SoundCloud on your Android. If you go to SoundCloud.com, look up the Academy Sports Podcast, you can find us there as well. But you can be watching us live right now, Facebook or YouTube. So make sure you're with us every week. We go live. You can see us, put faces with the names if you've only been listening to us. And as always, we shout you out in our comments. We also call you out in our comments. And don't forget, if you ever want to join us live on the show like Sports.C tonight, just let us know. We'll shoot you a link. We'll bring you in. We'll let you say your piece right here on camera. So we love the fans. We love doing this, and most of all, we love our sponsors, right, Dre?
You know it. Sponsor being Mr. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether just getting up to cold waterproofing or daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com. Gives you a map of all the areas that they service, as well as the services that they provide. It's getting cold out there. Make sure your pipes is ready. Yeah. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
Or unless you're rich like Joel, getting everything all redone, you want to make sure everything is good. Because that man right there is the real MVP. Don't forget, man, support your boy. Make sure you go to Back Pillars. You're on YouTube right now. Just type in Back Pillars Media Group. You see the logo, hit subscribe, and you enter for a chance to win a $50 Visa card. And you'll get some great content, too. I just posted another video today. Plan on posting another one before the end of this week. And we're going to keep this party going. You either on the train or you're not. But you're going to get on the train sooner or later. Like Joe said, man, hit us up on IG. Hit us up. Make sure you follow us on all our social medias. And if you got any questions or any content that you want us to talk about, you can DM us or you can hit us up at academysportshow@gmail.com. All right, brother. Appreciate you as always, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Sports Dad Cephas, man. Make sure you guys follow him on his YouTube channel, Sports Dad Cephas. He talks a lot about recruiting and just youth sports as a whole. Knowledge, a wealth of knowledge, a good guy all around. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and trigger the notification bell for him as well. I'm sure we will have him on in later episodes too. So shout out to him too. All right, brother. It's late. I gotta go to bed.
Yes, sir. I agree. It's been fun. Right.
I ain't hear nothing you said.
I said it's been fun. It's been real.
Oh, all right.
All right. Talk to you later. Peace out, everybody, man. See y'all next week.